Look, mate, thank you very much for joining us because I do respect your ability to tell us what the law is and how it works and what the processes are. First up, mate, when does voting close tomorrow? What time? What's the last chance anyone has to cast a ballot?
7 p.m, but if you get there at just before 7 p.m. and there's a bit of a line, they will let everyone who was in line at 7 p.m. vote. So maybe someone could vote at 7:01 or 7:02. But if you're in the voting place at 7 p.m. on Saturday, you can vote and your vote will be counted on the night.
All right. Once the votes are in, they are counted by hand, I understand. That we don't
Absolutely.
have voting machines, we don't get hanging chads.
No, it's a bunch of people sitting around a table. First, they'll count, I think, usually they do the party vote first and then they do the electorate vote. And they just count it once and then they count it a second time. And if they get close enough, the preliminary count, which we do on election day, is just, let everyone know as much of the result as we can get before bed. It's not official. They're not super careful. If they're off, if a polling place had 112 votes and they do the count and they get 111, they check, make sure they've got 112 ballots, but they're all there. We don't need to count them.
Okay.
It's rough and ready. We haven't counted the official votes. We haven't counted the late votes. We haven't counted the special votes. Votes coming from overseas. That's all counted an official vote. So on Saturday night, it's the unofficial preliminary vote count, just so everyone hopefully knows the basic, who's their MP before they go to bed.
All right. Okay. What time can we expect a final unofficial vote on Saturday night?
The aim they have is 95% of the preliminary vote by 11:30. There's usually one or two electorates where you're just waiting on one or two booths. Because if a booth's and it's usually one of the big ones. If you've got a booth where you're counting 500 votes, it's over quick. If you've got a booth where you're counting 5,000 votes, it takes a lot longer because they don't report preliminary. They don't announce, we've done 2,500 votes and here's the result. It's each booth counts all its votes and then sends it through to the Electoral Commission.
All right.
And so occasionally you will have one booth which just takes a little bit longer because it's got a few more votes than the others.
All right. Graeme, there are also overseas and special votes. How long does it take to count them and for them to all come in? So when do we how long does it take, days or weeks, to get the final official count or official return?
I should have checked the date. It's approximately 2 weeks, because people overseas can be voting tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so we've got to give them time to get those votes here. And, someone who turns out, they had to urgently go to Invercargill from Auckland for the day, and turns out they're going to do a special vote down there. They've got to get all the Invercargill ballots that people voted in Invercargill for Auckland, and they've got to put those in a courier thing and very safely take the ballots that were voted in Invercargill, take them up to Auckland for the Auckland count. And so those special votes cast outside the electorate won't be counted tomorrow night. They're special votes as well. And so once you've got all those votes together, then they have an official count, which they are very careful about. If we had 182 votes at this electorate, they're going to make sure they've got 182 party votes, 182 electorate votes. They cross-check them, and that's the point where they separate them out, and you can tell, this person, not knowing who the person is, this ballot voted for, work out the split vote. This ballot voted for the Labour Party, but the national candidate. And so that's a much more careful vote because they separate them into a whole lot more piles. It's a pile not just of these are the Labour Party votes, it's a pile of these are they separate out the Labour Party votes, and then they separate out the Labour Party votes for the electorate candidates.
All right.
And so and that is more careful, and that's the official one. It's about 2 weeks, and I should have double-checked.
All right, that's all right. Now, Graeme, I want to, because I think it is inevitable in the current environment. People from certain parts of the political spectrum are like, we were robbed, it was corrupt, what did you expect? It's all a conspiracy by the World Economic Forum or whatever. Just give us an idea of the record of, I'm not going to use the word purity, of competence in running New Zealand elections. Has major or any corruption ever been found in a modern New Zealand general election?
Not that I can recall. Certainly not post-MMP. I do recall one election, I can't remember if it was 93 or 96, where votes from one small booth in Taranaki somewhere got lost when they were being moved to for the final vote. It was 100 votes that wouldn't have made a difference. Once ever that I can recall. But corruption, no.